All right. Hi, everybody. It is Friday once again, which means it is time for another Friday Live with me. I know, it's exciting. So we did something a little bit differently this time. And let me see if I can get this to look a little better. And we posted on our Facebook page a bunch of questions for you guys to answer or for you guys to ask, and then I would answer the questions. And so I have done that, and I've got a lot of really, really good questions, and I hope I'm going to be able to get to all of them today. But if not, then we can always... if I don't get to all of them today, I think this is a really good idea because it kind of gives you guys, the option of kind of controlling the show and letting me know what you want to see and all that good stuff. So, but before I get into the questions, which there are quite a lot of them, I do want to remind you guys that our coupon is almost over. Let me do this real quick, see if I can figure this out. There it is. So don't forget to use this coupon. It is good for $25 off of your order of $200 or more. That is CPN re-up, because we need you to re-up on your holiday supplies. It is about that time to start getting ready for the holidays. I guess something to look forward to. So other than that, let's see. On October the 14th, I will be participating in the NBM show again, which is all virtual. So be looking for, we're going to have a lot of, marketing materials about that and kind of how you can sign up for it. It is free. And I'm going to teach a class on sublimating for the holidays. So I'm going to show like all the trends and kind of some of the fun new stuff that we have that I think are going to be really, really good for Christmas. Karen said that she missed me last week. Well, thank you, Karen. I was sitting at home with no power after Hurricane Sally, but that's okay. What else? Oh, guys, don't forget, TTPPHH, T-shirt transfer paper power half hour, will hopefully be back next week. I'm hoping Doug will be back in the office next week. So that's going to be Tuesday at 3 p.m. If you missed that whenever we did it last, you really missed some. It was a really, really fun show. Doug is hilarious. He has a great sense of humor. So please check that out. He's also going to be doing a webinar, but I'm not quite sure of the date of that yet, and I will let you guys know as soon as I find out. I'm sorry, I'm going to say your name wrong. Rita, yes, if you can just go ahead and ask your question, and I'll try to answer it if I see it. But sometimes I get a lot of people commenting, and I can't answer all the questions at one time. Okay. Hi. All right, so what else? Okay, so I had a lot of questions, and I'm going to start, well, actually first, you guys know the drill, right? So I've got a couple of pieces of artwork that I might be giving away today. This one is kind of cute with the little skull and bones, and then also the lattice one. So, but you guys know what we have to do. So I need you to share this video and also watch until the end. because you may actually learn something. I hope so. We'll see. But it's pretty cute. Lattice and skull and bones. So, and you guys will see I did use both patterns today. So go ahead and share it. I know you're in some sublimation groups. I know you got some people that like arts and crafts and possibly have some frequently asked questions about sublimation. So let's get them watching, guys, and maybe we'll all get some art. You know how I like to do it. All right. Let's start off with, because you guys ask, hey Mom, I love you. You guys asked some really interesting questions, and some of them I actually had to go to other people and ask them the answers to, because I do not know everything, even though I think that I do, and I don't. So this was a really good question by Diana Taylor. She said, my ink ran out while I was on vacation. I have an SG800, so do I have to do anything special to the printer before I receive more ink and install them? I read somewhere on a sublimation board that if I don't plan on using the printer for a while, to leave it on so it can keep the ink regular. But I just learned the expensive way that it just sucks the ink dry. Help. Okay, so, oh, thanks, Amitra. See, now I don't know if I said it right. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. So you were away on vacation and your computer ran its maintenance, your printer ran its maintenance, and in doing so, you ran out of ink. Well, so what I found out was that you actually use less ink by keeping your printer on than by turning it off and then turning it back on. Because when you turn it off and you turn it back on, it runs maintenance cycles, and it actually uses more ink than it would on just a regular maintenance cycle. So it's two different maintenance cycles that it runs. It's like an initial startup cycle, which will push a lot of ink through the lines and onto your waste tank. And then there's like just the regular maintenance cycles, which does pull some ink out, but actually in the long run, keeping the printer on saves you more money by actually using less ink. But to answer that first question on what do you need to do anything before you install it, no, actually all you have to do is just put the new ink in, your printer will automatically run its maintenance, and you'll be good to go. So no worries about that. I want to make a porch sign and want to sublimate it. What process would you recommend? Not sure about what to put on the wood to be able to sublimate it. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that everything that we do is coated, and we are really big about, I feel like my mic is flipped. We're really big about we don't promote any type of like poly coatings, because in our experience, you know, one, we want to give the best product possible, and it's really hard to achieve really good overall image quality and coverage with some kind of spray. I have seen people doing laminate, but I'm not sure how that works out, and you might can do that. But we do have, we do sell some of the, I don't know if I have any wood here, but we do have some wood products from Chromolux and Universal Woods that are really, really good. Oh, girl, we're going to do some subtle shrink. Who do we contact to suggest? Girl, the sippy cups. I know. I've been trying to get those sippy cups for a long time. You can just call your rep. They always send me the suggestions. And I've really been trying to get those. I love those sippy cups. So, hey, Margie. Got my gloves. They're down there. Wonder if Sawgrass will ever bring out a printer that prints the 13x19 tray instead of a bypass tray. Well, you know, they do have the VJ628, which is a reel-to-reel, so they probably won't. Do sub-items last in extreme cold outdoor temps like -30 or -40? I don't see why they wouldn't, because really cold doesn't affect sublimation as much as heat does. So if it was 130 degrees outside, I would say yes, but I don't know about -30. And really that's just because I live in a place where it never gets negative anything. So, all right, so what's my next question? Oh, this is a good one. Okay, Rose Schneider. Hope you're watching, girl. How do I load the 11-ounce mug paper? are all mug papers the same, and can I use the same mug paper on a Camel Polar mug, which we don't carry, just so you know that, as I do on a ceramic mug? So yes, let's talk about paper for a second. So we carry an SPP Dytrans paper, and we carry a Beaver Texprint paper, and we carry a Jet Coal paper, and all of those papers can be used in your Sawgrass printer. All of them can be used in your Epson printer. And they can all be used across all different substrates. So you don't have to have like one specific paper for mugs and one specific paper for metals or anything like that. The mug paper is really just so you don't waste a lot of paper when you're just doing a lot of mugs. And then on the question of how to load it in your bypass tray, so I asked David, I do have a bypass tray here just to show you, but what David said to me was that he does not, so on your bypass tray, you just have these little things right here, right? And this is all you would do is you would just push them in, put them in, and then you would just set your bypass tray up for your mug paper. But what David said to me is that he does not recommend you putting the mug paper into the bypass tray. He says that he recommends using the bypass tray only for larger papers that aren't going to fit in your bottom trays. But let's talk about how to do it in the bottom tray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch camera views, and I'm going to move. Oh, where's my mouse? There it is. Okay, so this is my SG-1000. And this is my bottom paper tray. So right now I think I have the 11.75 by 17 in here. So all I have to do, so these paper trays are really, really easy to work with. So you have, I don't know what happened. Okay. I don't know what happened. Everything just shut down on me, but we're back. No big deal. Geez, sorry about that, guys. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay, so did we get the paper tray? Yeah, we got the paper tray. So basically, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I'm going to move this because I don't really need it. So I'm going to try not to break anything as I move it. Well, let me put this guy back in there first. Wouldn't be Friday if we didn't have something go wrong. Okay. All right, now, whew, okay. Well, thanks, Mom. You taught me everything I know, but mostly just how to do this. Okay. All right, what's next? So, okay. This is a good question from Casey. Casey asked, do you think sublimation, not HTV, on a dark surface with a light image, for example, printing a white-yellow image on a dark gray shirt, will ever be possible? And I know that it's not possible right at this moment, but my favorite guys are actually working on that. So, you know, I don't know how far along they are in development, but I know that one day we will be able to do something like that. But I did want to show you, I hope I still have it in here. No, I don't. So David did a shirt yesterday, and maybe I do have it. I wonder if he just threw it up here. No, I don't have it. So David did this shirt. So this is our new Sublimating material. and this is obviously a white shirt. So this is, but this is a white cotton shirt, and he actually did this exact same image on the on a tan shirt, like actually this color exactly. So this is the Sublimating, and let me show you guys a little bit better. So this is the Sublimating, and this is how it looks. And it really doesn't, like, it has more of a, I don't know, kind of like a screen print feel to it. And then, but he actually did it on this color shirt. So that's the Sublimating, works really well. Okay. Oh, Rose, okay, so here we go. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so here's my paper tray. Okay, so I have it fully extended for 11 by 17 inch paper. But when you originally get the paper tray, oh, I just did that. So when you originally get the paper tray, it's going to come just like this, right? And it's small and it fits in the printer. And then you can open these clips here and extend it out, or you can use this button here and bring the sides in, and then use this as well and push it in, and that's going to hold your mug paper in your bottom tray. Like I said, David doesn't suggest using the bypass tray for the mug paper. He only suggests using this. And now if you're using the bypass tray for mug paper simply because you have so you can have a second option, I would suggest just buying a second paper tray. Because, you know, the bypass trays, they kind of hang on the back, and I think that this would be a little bit better, especially if you're not trying to go bigger, you know, which is really what the bypass tray is for. So basically, it's just these green things here. They open and close. This thing opens and closes, and then these will extend out also. So there you go. Okay. All right. Next up, can I do a full wrap on a ceramic mug using shrink wrap, or do I need to use a mug clamp when using an oven to heat? Interesting question. Absolutely. We can use shrink wrap on a ceramic mug, and I have one here that I've already done. So, and I did see a question about, I don't like this camera angle anymore. Let me fix this. You know what, Sherry? We do have, that's actually a really good idea. Sherry says she likes the mug paper. She wishes it was just a little wider so she could use it for masks. That's interesting because we may actually have a bigger paper, because I think we have one that would fit like the device cases or something, and that might actually fit. That's a really, really good idea. Let me see if I can fix this camera a little bit. Sure can. Sure can. Okay. So this is basically what I did. Actually, let me just do it for y'all. So let's pretend that let's pretend that I've already wrapped my design around this, and then I'm going to use my Sublishrink, which is here. And I do have a lot of videos on this as well. Shelly, you may want to call, I would call tech support about that. Because that doesn't sound like that should be right at all. Okay, so I've got my image on here, and I'm going to take my Sublishrink. This is my SF79, and I'm just going to cut a little hole in it so I can fit the handle through. So I'm going to pull the handle through, and then I'm going to tape on top of the handle and underneath the handle. I'm going to put two pieces underneath the handle just to hold it really tight, and then I'm going to put another piece right here at the bottom. Okay, tuck it all in. going to turn my heat press off because I don't want to blow a breaker. And we're going to shrink it. And I did see a question about the Sublishrink pulling away from the handle, and I have a trick for that too. So the way that I do this is I heat everything except for the handle, and then I heat the handle. Here we go. So get it nice and pulled up. And then we can work on the handle. And so that way, you're not really pulling, you know, you're not really pulling too much back here. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, there was that one. Let's turn this back on because I'm going to need it. I had it pulled apart, worried it still worked. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point. So it may actually be the chips and the cartridges. So you should probably just, I would just call support. Okay. Been trying to sublimate a mask and it just comes out really dull. It's driving me crazy. Two things. One, make sure, and I just, you know, but make sure you're printing on the right side of the paper, and also make sure you're printing on the right side of the mask. If you were printing on our white masks, the duller side is cotton and the shinier side is polyester. So you want to make sure that you are sublimating on the polyester side, because if you sublimate on the cotton side, it will turn out dull. So, okay, next. Is there a way to sublimate a t-shirt and go back and accent the design with either HTV glitter vinyl or hot pressed rhinestones? So I'm going to say yes. I was I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm sorry. Hey, Jeff. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Sorry. I don't know. We, you know, we are still kind of trying to. There's still a lot of things down due to the hurricane and all of that, so I apologize, guys, that we're having issues today. I don't actually see any issue on my end that I can fix. Let me make sure I'm not like doing anything too weird. Okay, I don't think I am. I don't know. Okay. So, and I don't know what's going on with Facebook, guys. So, maybe if you can't see me on Facebook, maybe switch over to YouTube or something. So, okay. All right. Oh, here's another good one. What settings on SPM should I use for dye trans papers for best results? So, you can actually set your SPM addition to Condé. So, on your, like right next to the time on your computer, you right click on the SPM icon, go to addition, and when it asks you for the catalog number, type in Condé, and then it'll actually give you our paper and our settings and all that good stuff. So, other than polyester, are there other materials that can be sublimated without being prepped with something? Some, yes. I mean, you know, it has to be inorganic, and it has to be able to take heat. So, you know, you would think that certain things, like nylon, which is an inorganic material, you would be able to sublimate to, and you can't because it will not take the heat. So, you know, your best bet is to make sure that it is sublimation ready, and yeah. Oh, here's a good one. Oh, great. Raymond asks, how do you bend your print to make the print curve? For example, a wine tumbler. I use Photoshop. Okay, so Jeff, I'm glad you're here. We are actually going to play Jeff's video. And there you go. Yes, thank you so much, Jeff, because I am not very good at Photoshop. Raymond, if you need to, you can always play that back and help you learn how to create a curve in Photoshop. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, next one. All right, Renee, I see you. You were my next question. Any Epson F570s in stock soon? I hope so. I don't even have one. So, you know, I get tired of saying global pandemic, but honestly, you know, when the suppliers can't get the materials they need to create the printers, then, you know, it is... I mean, trust me, we are trying to get in as many as we can. And I know I would love to have an F570 as well. Okay, so Ruth Kaufman, if you are watching, she had a question. I replaced my magenta ink, and now my blacks and browns have a very noticeable red undertone. You are going to have to call tech support on that. That is definitely not something that I can help you with. Here, that's something that they're probably going to have to help you with on your SPM or something like that. Joe, I see you, Joe. Joe asked, why does sublimation paper cost so much? There's a very good reason for that. Let me show you guys. I have an example of... So we did this a couple of years ago or something like that. I have no concept of time anymore, where I printed the same image using Dytrans paper and using copy paper. So the reason that sublimation paper is expensive is because it has a special coating on it, and that coating holds the dot gain of the print, and copy paper does not. And this is actually a really good image because you're going to be able to see. So this is the one, I really hope you'll be able to see it. So this is the one that I did with the Dytrans paper. And then this is the one that I did with the copy paper. So I'm actually going to get a little closer and see if you guys can see it better. So Dytrans paper, copy paper. You can really kind of see it. Let's see. Yeah, you can tell the difference in the brightness and the dot gain, and it just, you know, that sublimation paper, that's the way you want to go. I've heard people say that you can use like a hammer mill kind of a, thicker paper and it works good, but it's really what it is. It's the coating of the paper. That is what makes it worth it. I mean, you can see, look at her skin tone, look at the colors. I mean, this was the same exact color settings, printed on the same day, just one was done with copy paper, one was done with sublimation paper, and this is the difference. And it's pretty phenomenal. I think I did this actually because someone did a video called, and I love it, "Our Sublimation Company's Lying to Us," and because she printed a t-shirt with copy paper and it looked really good. Well, yes, t-shirts have open weaves, and so you don't have to, so you're not really looking at a lot of detail, right? So if you wanted to do a t-shirt with copy paper and it didn't really make a difference, you could do it. But if you're going to do a Chromolux panel or something else, then yes, definitely go with copy paper. Ray, I tell you what, send me an email and I'll send you a link to that video. Okay. When you are sublimating a gray cotton t-shirt, would you use Subla Light or Subla Dark paper? I guess it depends on how dark the gray is. You saw, I think if it was like an ash gray, you could definitely use the Subla Light. But if it was more of like a kind of a darker gray, you might want to go with the Subla Dark glitter. Okay. I mean, okay, so I see you guys talking about the copy paper. Like, that's the thing, is that, we want our stuff to look as good as it possibly can. We want it to be as sharp as it can, as crisp as it can. And, the price of the sublimation paper compared to the cost of the sublimation paper compared to the price of the item that you're selling, it's worth it, because there's a big difference in cost in price between this one done with copy paper and this one done with dye trans paper. And that's just simply because this one looks professional and this one just doesn't. Is the Sawgrass ink different from Epson printer ink? Oh, girl, yes. The Sawgrass ink only works in the Sawgrass printers, and that's all there is to it. You cannot use any other ink on Sawgrass printers. Okay. Paula, this is a good one. What are some indicators that a sublimation pressing or a convection method isn't working correctly? Like problems that happen and what they look like. Okay, so what I did was I got a bunch of coasters, okay? These are, I think it's U5677. This is like one of our most popular coaster out there. And they do have a peel coat, so I'm just gonna kind of just tap it under here and just kind of roll it, and that's gonna roll the peel coat back for me so I can take it off easier. And then what I've done is printed out 4 black squares. Diana, are you asking about the Subla Light? Because if you're asking about the Subla Light, what we like to do is we like to test the products, and then we give them to the guys in the warehouse, and they wear and wash them, and it works really, really well. Will the Forever Subli paper work with the Epson F570? The Subla Light and the Subla Dark do work with the F570. The Subla Flex, which is the vinyl, does not. Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to do some black tests, because somebody asked, what do you do when you're starting out? What you do is, so because black is every single color, it is the last color to sublimate because it is the darkest and it has the most, I guess, mass, for lack of a better term. So what we're going to do is we're going to dial in our settings, and we're going to use these 4 coasters to do it. And then I'm going to show you guys how to look at something and go, okay, I didn't use enough pressure, or okay, I didn't press it long enough, or okay, whatever. So this is supposed to be 400 degrees for 60 seconds, but we're going to do this first one 400 degrees for 45 seconds. And watch it work, just because it's not supposed to work, and it will. Okay, so always piece of protective paper on the bottom. We're going to do our coaster face up with our image face down. And I did use tape, and you guys know I don't really like using tape on the coasters simply because it will kind of peel the cork off a little bit. So normally I would use Pro Spray, but we're just doing a black test, so no big deal. All right, piece of protective paper on the top. Now, we're going to use enough pressure, but we're not going to use enough time. All right, so we're going to let it go for 40 seconds. We're going to see what happens. Is the text print R paper better for shirts, or is there a different one to use? So I did have a question about how to make shirts more vibrant, and you know, we do use the text print because it is a little bit higher release. And so when we do like large run t-shirts in the print lab, we use the text print tacky paper because we don't have to use Pro Spray, and it just kind of sticks and it works. And it does release a little more ink than the SPP paper. Okay, so let's see what happened. Okay, so let me get my beautiful gloves that have my name on them. Pamela, I got this from Uline. Best thing ever. All right, so let's go here. Let me move this a little bit. All right, so this was the one that I just did, and it is light, right? But I want you guys to see where the lightness is. So do you see that it's light kind of like in the middle, right? And I wish, so when you, if I had a bigger substrate, you would be able to see it better because these heat from the exterior to the interior. So when you don't use enough time, what happens is everything will sublimate except for the interior, because just like you're microwaving your food, everything but gets hot except for the middle, right? So the middle part is going to be lighter. And so you'll know, okay, I've got to increase my time. All right, so the next one that we're going to do, we're going to increase our time, but for this one, we're not going to use a lot of pressure. So same thing, I'm just going to help me out a little bit with my stuff. Okay. And same thing, we're just going to tape it down and we're going to press it. But this time, we're just not going to use very much pressure at all. But we're going to do it for the correct amount of time. So we're going to do this one for 60 seconds, but with a little bit lighter, well, lighter pressure. So Diana asks, is there something written down to tell us what paper to use on what item we are using? So yes. I mean, you can use any paper on anything. But if you look at our instructions, it should say, you know, what we recommend. But I personally, I use SPP on everything. Everything. So I use the Dytrans SPP on everything. Shirley, I saw that. Let me come back to it. Los Angeles Trophy asks, what's the coupon code for September? This one right here. CPN re-up. Okay, so can you sublimate on a cutting board using the shrink wrap and a convection oven? When we first got the shrink wrap, that's what David wanted me to try to do. We wanted to try to do flat items in an oven with the shrink wrap. And what happens is that you have to use so much time. Of course, this worked perfect. We're going to do another one. Oh, that drives me crazy. I think it's because I'm using too small of a product, but that's all right. We're going to do another one. Oh goodness, now I forgot. I was saying something. I completely forgot what the question was. Oh, right. Okay. So what's going to happen is it is going to take you about 20 minutes to do a cutting board or a piece of tile. Actually, what I tried to do was the porcelain ornaments, and it literally took me 14 minutes. And I still, because you have to have enough pressure, and especially with the cutting boards, you're not going to get enough pressure with the Sublishrink in the oven. All right. I'll try one more time, and we're like really not going to use any pressure at all this time. Yeah, Terry says to make sure to use text print on acrylic and glass, and that's true, and that's just because it does release a little better, and it will kind of stick sometimes to the acrylic. But is there something? Okay, I've already got that one. Okay, Beverly, your question is next. I don't know if that was your question or not, but this was one of the ones that we were definitely going to do. So Beverly says, my wall of shame is growing. So can I sublimate items that are ruined and make them totally black? I see some color coming through the black. Oh yeah, totally. So that is actually exactly what we recommend that you do. Is if you have something that's ruined and you're trying to dial your pressure in, is to sublimate over it on black. And see if you can get a good dark black. Okay. I hope this worked. If this didn't work, I'm just going to throw in the towel, and that's it. No, it's not. It still didn't work. I don't know. Okay, so basically here's the deal, guys. This is what I was trying to show you, and I guess for some reason, you know, everything's going to work like it's supposed to today. So if it is light in the center, that is because you have not used enough time. If it is light on the edges, that is because you do not have enough pressure. So always look at where your light spots occur. So for instance, we just got in a bunch of new slate, and so we're trying to figure out how long do we do the slate for. And that's how we determine, you know, where our dial-in point is. Okay, did we use, like, where are the white spots? Are the white spots directly in the center? Then we need more time. Are the white spots towards the edges? Then we need more pressure. I was really hoping to be able to show you guys that, but apparently I can only mess up the things I don't want to mess up and can't mess up the things I do want to mess up. No big deal. Thanks, Joe. All right, so moving right along. I had a question, which I thought was a really good one, about if I press something aluminum, can I go back and repress to add personalization? And I thought, what a great question. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure, I know what's going to happen, but I want you guys to see, I want you guys to see like what this is going to look like. And yeah, Cheryl, we've just had a delay. We've had an issue with the supplier, and so. Okay, so what I've got here, so this is the lattice pattern, right? And I've got this one that has a puppy in it, and then I've got this one that is just open. So I'm going to press both of them on the same piece of metal. But on this one that's open, after we press it, we're going to come back and we're going to try to press the dog in it, and we're going to see what happens, okay? So, and this is actually a two-sided metal. I don't know why I pulled the two-sided metal, but this is U7914. U7914. Okay. I saw, Tom, any great tutorials for working with the Subla Dark? Sorry, not yet, but I am getting, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Like I said, that hurricane kind of put me back. I missed about a week of work, so, which was actually pretty nice, to be honest with you. It's like a little mini vacay. Okay. Whew, two-sided metal means two sides of peel coat to take off. Shirley asks, have I ever done, boy, I had questions coming quick. Have you ever done a video on how to sublimate the slates using a flat press? Yes, ma'am, absolutely, Shirley. Just check it out on YouTube. What about license plate? White blotchy areas on them. Pressure time, it's hit or miss with me, mostly miss. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you're not talking about the Unisub license plates. You're probably talking about the Dytrans or the Mako license plates. So with different metals, you have different instructions. So some of our license plates have what's called a soft coating on them, and they have to be done coated side face down. And you also have to use the lightest pressure imaginable. And that should get rid of those blotchy spots. All right, so we're going to press both of these at the same time because I'm almost out of time. How might I prevent the outgassing on face masks with white elastic? So Vern, I don't know, and that's why the ones that we ordered don't have the white elastic, because I foresaw that being an issue, and so I don't know. Other than, you know, tape is normally my go-to. You may want to try to maybe like wrap it in paper first or something, but yeah, that's why we went with the ones with the black ear loops instead of the white ear loops. Okay, got them ready. Now we're going to press them. So these are 1 minute and 15 seconds, but because I'm going to do both of them at the same time, we're going to go a little bit longer. So we're going to go about a minute and a half. Whoops. So a minute and a half. 400 degrees, medium pressure. I had a question about how do you know if you use too much pressure, and I am always of the opinion that too much pressure is not really a bad thing unless you're dealing with like you know, like scuba foam or neoprene or something that's going to smash, or like felt or something that's going to smash, or t-shirts that might, you know, wrinkle. And I always tend to go for more pressure because I feel like you're more likely to mess something up using less pressure, especially on harder items like metal or ceramics or things like that, than you would light pressure. Now, keep in mind, sandstone breaks, slate breaks, the glass actually doesn't break, but you know, light pressure, definitely for shirts, you know, any of the felt products, and yeah. So like I said, you know, using too much pressure, I think is the better question to ask is, how do you know if you're not using enough pressure? And that's basically, you know, look for the lightness on the edges. Really? Miriam says that if she uses too much pressure, the edges look wrinkled. That's interesting. Okay, so here's my one panel with nothing on it. Very, very nice and warm. And then here's my second panel. And you know what? Actually, that makes sense, because if you use way too much pressure, then what you're doing is you are essentially smashing the cork and the glue. So, you know, I would just, it took me a while to learn pressure. And so this is, and I know I think I've gone through this a couple of times, but I'm just one more time. So this is kind of like my go-to on pressure. And I know it's not like rocket science or anything like that, but this is just kind of how I, you know, how I gauge pressure. So to me, light pressure is, you know, I barely even closed it. That's light pressure. So medium pressure for me is going to be, actually, that's not even medium to me, you know, just a little bit of force. Heavy pressure is going to be me probably having to stand on this and push it down. So that's the difference in pressure, at least the way that I say it is, or that I practice it. Which paper does Condé normally send with the SG 400 or 500? I need to get the one for hard surfaces, but don't know which one it is. So all of our paper are hard surface papers for sublimation. We don't have a hard surface or a fabric paper. But I think it's the SPP, the Dytrans is what we send out, and that's going to work on everything. Condé needs to put out a book on sublimation. Diana, please do not give David Gross any ideas. Whew. Okay, we're going to try to let this cool a little bit, and then I'm going to put my little guy here in the center, and we're going to see kind of how much it fades or what happens, because I'm kind of interested to see as well. Let it cool a little bit more. Can you get masks with black cotton on the inside? I haven't seen any of those yet. Yeah, you know, Vern, when you said that the tape leaves a mark, the tape that we use, it does not, and I know that not all of this gold tape is the same. We worked very, very hard in formulating ours because I have ordered gold tape on Amazon before to see how it works, and it does stain. That gold stains. So, all I have is what I've purchased from Condé. I don't know then. It must be the, I don't know. Sorry, Vern. I'm trying to think of a solution, and I can't come up with anything. How important is the brand of paper? Isn't the ink more important? The brand of paper really isn't important, and really ink is based on what kind of printer you have. Okay. All right, here we go. This is about cool enough. So this is my original, this is this one, and now I'm going to add some personalization to it. So let's say you already had these pressed and a customer goes, well, I want my cute dog on it. And you go, all right, let's see if it works. So first I gotta line it up. Ooh, and I got a pro spray too, because if I tape it, that's not gonna work. So I'm excited to see what happens. So I am going to decrease the time, because really I'm only sublimating a little area, so I'm only going to do this one for about a minute. Compared to, Shirley, I can't answer that question. All right, guys. Any there's a lot of pros and cons to both printers, is all I'm going to say. So, sublimation for dummies would be great. How important is the brand of paper? I already answered that one. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, Tanya, what's the best way to sublimate oddly shaped drinkware? That would be the Sublishrink and a convection oven, which I was going to do, but I think we're running out of time, guys. So we're going to do this. We're going to give some prizes away. I think that's it. Yes, Evelyn. So this one will be subbed twice, and so we're going to compare it to the one that was only subbed once, and we're going to see how much fading, if we got a lot of fading, what it looks like, if it can be done. Well, it definitely faded. It definitely faded, but this was an interesting experiment, guys. So look at this, because really, I mean, let me make sure I don't grab the one that's super hot. Okay, so where am I at? All right, so this is the one that, let me get a little closer. I'm kind of shook right now. So can you guys tell the difference? Trying to get them in frame. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty, I mean, I did lose a little bit of color and vibrancy, but you can't really tell. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, I guess we all learned something today, didn't we? All right, guys. So, that's about, don't be shook. I'm about shook all the time, all day, every day. Okay, it is a little lighter. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. It definitely is, and I can see kind of like some fading that's happened a little bit, you know. But honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Do I recommend a certain oven? Sure do. Hamilton Beach large capacity rotisserie oven, model number 31105D. One day, they're going to start paying me to sell their stuff for them. Queta, if that's how you say your name, asks, will this video be a playback? Yes, ma'am. All of our videos are played back. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about some other stuff. So every single week, I ask you guys to review a product. And I randomly pick somebody, and I give them $25 in Condé credit. And this week, the winner is Joy Gibson. Joy reviewed our Pro Spray, and they said, amazing spray, sticks and holds in place for a super clean image transfer. Yes, and by the way, guys, this is on sale right now for 12 bucks. So, what did I remember? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Oh, she remembered it. Girl, you know I remembered it. I'm going to have it. It's like tattooed behind my eyeballs. Okay. So congratulations to Joy. Thank you for your amazing review, guys. Go buy a product. Leave a review. You have a chance to win $25. No big deal. In addition to leaving me a review, I also ask you to 31105D. I also ask you to show me what you are doing by going to our gallery, our client gallery, and uploading an image of a product. Every quarter, we do a giant contest where we give away a ton of money, and it's almost over. So it ends at the end of the month. And the theme is show us your brand. So show us how you brand your products. You can win $400 for first place, $200 for second place, $100 for third place, and we also give away $100 for honorable mention. But in addition to that, every single week we randomly pick a winner, and this week's winner is, oh, let me stand over here so you can see me, is Julie Trosson at Blue Moose Boutique with these guac socks. I love it. So this is sock 46. Congratulations, Julie. You will be receiving an email on how to receive your $25 in Condé credit. Okay, Karen, what did you have? I just got my order today, Forge large boxes. Go girl, all right. Okay. Last but not least, can you stand a 30-ounce tumbler in your oven? Yes, I can, but I have to take the bottom rack out. So all you got to do is just make sure you keep it in between the heating elements. Okay. Now, where was I going with this? So, we did all of our stuff. We gave away our prizes. What's next? Oh yeah. Hey guys, you want some art? Email me, swood@conde.com, and I will send you these two very cute pieces of art. So give me an email, swood@conde.com. You only have 30 minutes, so you only have until 5 o'clock my time. If you wait any longer, I will completely ignore you. No, I won't, but please try to get them in before 5. And that's it. And guys, I think we're going to do the same thing next week. But I think next week we're going to do it a little more product specific. So instead of like general questions, we'll have more product questions. And yeah, so guys, give me an email. Thank you all so very much for joining me and for sticking through all of the technical difficulties. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Bye.